blood, sweat, tears, pain. It was not fun.
Welcome to hell.
I created a 25-man deep big board
25
of New York Jet quarterbacks. Now, again, here's how the rules are on this. All the free agent quarterbacks along with likely trade candidates. So, for example, Kirk Cousins is not a free agent yet. We think he's going to be released.
Yes.
Kyler Murray is not a free agent yet. He's either going to be released or he's going to be traded. Right? Fair to say?
Yes.
Same thing with Tua. So
Tua Tagovailoa.
So it includes guys who are free agents and includes guys who are likely to be available. Now, the way I'm going to do this, because we got to go real quick. If we spend a minute on each person, it's going to take forever.
Yep.
So I'm going to give you the bottom half. I'm going to rank them from the bottom.
Okay.
The ones I least want, and then we'll unveil a top 10 and have a further discussion.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I am. I'm just going to write down the ones that I think I like.
So even if I start with somebody and you're like, really, you're putting that guy dead last? You obviously have every right to say, come on.
I'll just write down the interesting ones.
The interesting ones?
Yes, to me. Only to me.
Number 25.
Same old Jets.
Aaron Rodgers.
Nah.
I mean, I have to put him last.
Nah.
I have to put him last.
Nah.
But you agree I have to put him last?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
I wouldn't even be on the list.
Well, I have to honor the list.
Yes.
Well, you
Okay.
want me to just take people off the list?
Yes.
Just take them off. All right, number 25, Aaron Rodgers. Number 24, Joe Flacco. Number 23, Teddy Bridgewater. Number 22, Jimmy Garoppolo. Number 21, Marcus Mariota. Number 20, Russell Wilson. Number 19, Carson Wentz. Number 18, Kirk Cousins. Number 17, Tyler Huntley. Number 16, Trey Lance. Number 15, Daniel Jones. Number 14, Sam Howell. Number 13, Tyrod Taylor. Number 12, Mitchell Trubisky. Number 11, Kenny Pickett. Now our top 10. Number 10, Jacoby Brissett. Number 9, Gardner Minshew. Number 8, Tanner McKee. Number 7, Will Levis. Number 6, Mac Jones. Number 5, Kyler Murray. Number 4, I said, Tua Tagovailoa.
Tagovailoa.
Damn it. Number 3, Derek Carr. Number 2, Malik Willis. And number 1, Anthony Richardson.
What?
I'm intoxicated.
Oh,
The tools, I don't know. I think the age, the tools, the potential to get him to a new location, I would put it, that's my list. So what's your thoughts? You seem
Man.
very disappointed.
I mean,
Do not boo.
I only wrote down 7 of them
So 7 of the 25 jump out at you?
as interesting,
Interesting.
or potentially viable.
Which of the 7 did you write down? I'm curious where I had them ranked.
Teddy Bridgewater.
I had him at the bottom.
I know.
And by the way, can I clarify something? I like Teddy Bridgewater.
What number did you have him?
I had him at number 23.
All right, 23. So Teddy, Tyler Huntley.
Oh, my God.
You had him at 20.
Yeah, he was towards the back.
Trubisky,
Mitchell Trubisky, okay. A little bit better.
Tanner McKee,
Tanner McKee, I had at number 8.
Tua.
Tua, I had number 4.
Carr, I wrote down, even though he's not coming here.
Well, we don't know that, but number 3.
And then Willis.
Okay, so we're on a similar page. The difference is you're turned off by Anthony Richardson and
Here's
Kyler
why.
Murray.
Here, Anthony Richardson is, we talked about him yesterday, a ridiculous athlete. He is 6'6", 6'5", 250 pounds. He runs a 4.4 40. Dude is unbelievably talented. I don't know if he has the give a you-know-what to be great.
But don't you think
No,
give
dude,
a what? Okay.
If you don't care
Yeah.
to be great or the greatest that you can be, you can't be on my team.
Just to re-clarify for anybody who forgot, Anthony Richardson was the same quarterback that took himself out of a game mid-drive because he got tired.
A game that I was calling, and Andrew Catalan was like, what's happening? Why is he, what's going on? Is he hurt? I don't think he wants to be great. I think he is a good kid who doesn't know what it takes.
Suck.
He doesn't even suck, because there are times where he's amazing. I don't think he either knows how to be great or doesn't have the desire to be great. That bothers me.
Okay.
When you draft kids like that, you are not only setting back that position, but you're setting back anybody in his orbit. And so because he's the quarterback, there's a lot that he influences. And Indianapolis, you saw it with a competent Daniel Jones, how good they were. Think about what they've wasted the last 2 prior years because they put their faith in Anthony Richardson. But I would tread very, very carefully.
Well, I'm treading as carefully as humanly possible because I'm not drafting him.
Okay, what makes you think that your guy is fixing him?
Humbling. I think what can fix him is being humbled and
embarrassed. What if he doesn't care?
Well, then I move on.
I don't think he's going to be embarrassed. That's my point. Like he's not that kind of kid that's affected by what you think about.
Then I get rid of him, and then it failed. But I think, and this is where I'll try to find common ground with you. I'll see if I can find common ground with you. Everything you said, I mean, it's a legitimate worry. How could I argue with anything you said about the who cares factor, pulling himself out of a game, and being very skeptical that he will ever give a damn and want to be great? Completely fair. Is it not possible that the humbling that took place and coming to this organization as his last chance could be the moment that he finds it? And more importantly, do you not think he has the potential? Do you not think that the talent that he has could be potentially harnessed into something?
Look, wherever he ends up, because he still has a year left.
Right.
On his contract.
Yeah, he is one of those guys who either will be released or traded, probably for very little. I don't think he's going to be on the Indianapolis Colts next year, hence why he is on an available list like the one I created.
And so could a new start with someone else benefit him? Maybe. But I worry that a guy like Frank Reich, who is not long-term, by the way, he was the coach right before they drafted him.
Correct. He never coached him. So there is no history between them.
Shane Steichen was the coach that drafted him. Yep. And I don't think Shane actually wanted to draft him. I think that the owner wanted to draft him because he felt he was a tantalizing project and we could turn him into whatever. And so if Shane Steichen, who gave him every single chance to get out of his own way, doesn't trust him, what makes you think Frank Reich does?
Well, I don't know if Frank Reich's going to trust him, but he also comes here with much less pressure than being the 5th or 6th overall pick, wherever he was drafted. I know it was at the top. And this is his last chance.
Yeah.
And he does have the talent. You have to admit he's got the talent.
Of course he does. I don't love the idea of him.
But you have to also understand that
this is a fool me once thing.
Yeah, but the Jets' pursuit of a quarterback, and I think you'll notice something with my list. I'm very high on what someone can now do for me. The reason Teddy Bridgewater is towards the bottom is not that he isn't a pro, not that he isn't this great veteran who's a good dude.
Yeah.
I'm looking, before we get to the draft, because I don't know if they're going to draft a quarterback, I'm looking at the guy I can bring in who's another advanced lottery ticket, someone who maybe Frank Reich can harness and put all together with.
But hold on.
And Malik Willis and Anthony Richardson top that list.
Okay, Malik Willis, definitely.
Thank you.
But let's not pretend that any of these guys that are on this list, there's a couple notwithstanding. One is Tanner McKee. But most of these guys are not going to be your long-term solution. Most of these guys are not going to be your Sam Bradford.
But I'm trying.
I understand that, but you're also putting your faith in it.
No, I'm not.
And so if you are...
Why am I putting my faith in it? I need a quarterback on my roster. I'd rather it be someone with that potential, as limited as it may be in your eyes, than someone who doesn't. Teddy Bridgewater doesn't have the potential, or Kirk Cousins doesn't have the potential to be my quarterback for the next 7 years. If I squint hard enough, I can find a way for Anthony Richardson to be.
I mean, Teddy Bridgewater is only, 34 years old?
30? I know, but he's never been the same since his injury. He's not going to be the guy. But he retired a year and a half ago.
But he could win games, especially in a ball control type offense, which I think Frank Reich will run. Tyler Huntley, he's just a really good athlete. Now, I don't love him, but at least he could win some games for you. We saw this. He made the Pro Bowl, even though the Pro Bowl is fugazi at this point, a couple of years ago when he was filling in for Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. Mr. Trubisky, you've seen what he could do to you.
Why? Because he burned Sauce Gardner once?
Yeah. I mean, but that was a good throw.
Yeah.
He comes in for, 4 plays when Josh Allen's hurt, and he throws this perfect 7 route to who I forget who he was.
I had Trubisky at 12, so it's not like I buried the guy.
I actually like him.
Okay,
Mr. Trubisky.
I gave him a decent ranking.
Tanner McKee is the most interesting one,
and I put him at 8.
Yes, he could have been higher, but nobody knows enough about him.
Well, but that's part of why. Other than Derek Carr, who I admit is on the older side, and I've explained my view on Carr, that I think he can be not a top 5 quarterback, but he could be in that top 12 to 15 range for the next 4 years if healthy. Like, that's why he's my exception to the young guy who, hey, give him another opportunity, he can put it all together. But Anthony Richardson has all the talent. Malik Willis needs an opportunity.
Yep.
Kyler Murray probably needs a change of scenery. Tua needs a change of scenery.
He does, but it's a no for me on him.
No, completely?
Yeah, because of the health issue.
But again, think about the circumstances we're building.
Yeah.
I don't believe the Jets have to give up a lot for any of these guys, nor do they have to give massive contracts to any of these guys.
I agree.
So if it fails, we move on.
But if you fail, then your coaching staff is likely moving on too.
But I'm not, and I'm a Jet fan making this
you're
list.
Rebuilding all over again.
Well, but again, you're looking at the wrong perspective. No offense to Aaron Glenn. No offense to Darren Muji.
Yeah, that's not your problem.
That's not my problem. My problem as a Jet fan is who can potentially, as limited as the possibilities are, not only help me this year, but actually turn into the guy.
Right.
And that's what dominates my list.
Right. And so to me, there's two guys, Tanner McKee and Malik Willis.
Okay.
Those
So you
are the
like
two guys.
two of my top 10 guys?
Yes.
I got Malik Willis at 2,
Mhm.
and I got Tanner McKee at number 8. What about Will Levis? He's got the arm talent.
Yeah.
He's got size.
He feels like a lughead to me.
Yeah, he does feel like an idiot.
I'm fascinated by one thing in this list, and Tiki just alluded to it. If you're making, because this is the hard thing, and I get about making this list about like availability, viability. If you're making the leap that Tanner McKee is going to be available, that you're willing to include him at 8, how is he not one of your top 2 guys?
Because he hasn't done anything. He hasn't flashed anything.
You haven't seen him at all.
Like all of these other guys, even if it's limited, have flashed something. Like Malik Willis and the opportunity. Even Anthony Richardson, like flashed it when he was actually on the field. So I think what keeps a guy like McKee down, because it's a great question, right? What keeps him down a little bit is just, I don't know. And sometimes guys get overhyped. Who's your guy who got traded to Dallas?
Joe Milton.
Joe Milton.
I mean,
and he went down there and looked terrible.
Right. We got excited about Joe Milton because of 30 seconds.
Well, we got excited about Joe Milton because of Josh McDaniels.
Right. No, you're right.
And then he goes someplace else with Brian Callahan. No, Brian
Schottenheimer. Shotty.
And it's just like, what?
That's why. That's why. Like the guys who just haven't played, we end up building up more in our mind because we haven't seen them fail. What hurts Anthony Richardson is we've seen a lot of bad. Like everything you bring up about him is absolutely fair.
Right.
It's just the Jets are in a position to take these kinds of risks. Like none of these answers are great. None of these answers should excite you in a way of, all right, let's go buy the jersey. We're in business. It's about taking the risk and, dare I say, hitting on it. And, like, am I confident the Jets are going to hit on anything? No, they're the Jets. But most of my list, 1 through 25, my power rankings, a lot of it is based on the potential, which is how I get to a guy like Richardson at number 1, because despite all the criticisms you have of him, he does have incredible athleticism and a lot of potential, and he's young.
Yeah. But there's just a 1-2 factor that worries me a lot about him.
BNIFO, who would be number 1 on your list? You heard my top 25 Evan Roberts Jet quarterback power rankings.
So we're talking about a team that we're trying to win games this year? I just want to make that clear. Okay.
That's up to you. I mean, you clearly can see what I'm doing with this list, right?
No, because I know you'll get callers that argue, like, who cares? Sign Mitchell Trubisky, lose games, whatever.
But
Like,
I don't think Mitchell Trubisky's losing games for you.
Fine. I'm just,
I know what you're saying.
Insert veteran here.
Yeah.
It's Malik Willis. Malik Willis, I think, will be the best quarterback available in terms of what you think is long-awaited upside that's finally ready to be tapped
I
into.
was very conflicted between 2 and 1. I have Willis at number 2. I was very, very conflicted. And I think what just slightly moved me to Richardson is just, it's intoxicating.
Yeah.
It's intoxicating.
No, he can throw the ball 70 yards in the air, in the air.
Yeah. And so there's a part of me
almost effortlessly.
There's a part of me that thinks, and maybe I'm being naive, Tiki, that everything you said about him can change with embarrassment, being humbled, and going to a new organization and knowing
but
this is it.
Sometimes kids, when they get embarrassed, they shrink.
You're right.
Not all of them, swell up and become greater than. That's what you don't know. It's a big question mark to go into your season with.
But Tiki, every single person on this list with potential, not the veterans in the back end, they all have risks. You're going to give Malik Willis, how many millions of dollars a year is based on starting how many games in the NFL?
That's the issue, is that he's going to make more money than some of these other guys.
Or Tanner McKee, you bring up, you may have to give up a high-value draft pick for a guy that's barely played in the league. You don't think that has risk?
Of course.
Tua's injury history. You don't think that has risk? Kyler Murray, remember all the stories? He doesn't study hard enough. You don't think that has risks?
They
all have risks.
This is why it's so complicated and a crappy situation for the Jets to be in.
It's not ideal. Now, let's get to some of your calls. I apologize. I know this guy hasn't waited as long, and usually I want to make people wait before we go to you. Not make people wait, but we try to be fair about waiting long. But Sean wrote down this guy's headline is Evans' list stinks.
That was a direct quote.
And I feel like before I even go to him, what I'm going to say to this guy is it is easy to say, oh, that list stinks. You do it then. Then you do it. You're such a big shot. My list sucks so much when the truth is Tiki's right. The situation sucks.
Right, it does.
Is it me?
The Jets are a sewer.
Is it me or is it the situation?
I also want to say, and I didn't put which one it was, one of the other people online, I've already forgot, also wanted to know if Evan took meth for breakfast this morning.
I mean, is that really?
That was another direct quote.
And what I would say to that person, give me your list then. Big shot.
Well,
Like,
hopefully you
first
get to them. I forgot which one it was.
I got it right by saying Aaron Rodgers is last. Can we at least agree on that one?
Same old Jets.
Were we good with that?
Definitely.
Okay. All right, Chris and Merrick, since my list stinks, A, tell me why, and B, give me something better. Go.
Okay, fair enough. Thanks, guys, for taking the call.
What's up, dude?
So my one question is, I noticed you're trying to target, younger reclamation projects that have talent or were perceived to have talent at some point.
Yep.
My question is, what makes you think the Jets are situated to be that team that turns around a quarterback who hasn't found success at this point in their career?
So
that's fair.
You know what I mean?
Yes, it's a great
Okay.
question. And my answer would be I don't have faith, so I'm not going to lie to you and say, oh, yeah, I have faith. But I believe Frank Reich, who is at least a veteran, who has taught before, who I think is respected around the league, gives me more of a puncher's chance than if this was Tanner Engstrand a year ago.
Okay. So based on your list, a few weeks back, I had called and suggested a guy like Kirk Cousins. Now, I know he's not the sexiest name and he's older, but he's like vanilla, right? He's a consistent pocket passer who has tons of experience. Granted, again, not the sexiest name, but he can at least establish potentially a season of stability at worst, right? Assuming he can stay healthy.
Yeah.
The other guys you mentioned, Will Levis, rocket for an arm, but he's got nothing upstairs. I watched his season on Tennessee. At least once a game, you would see his coach mouth to him on the sideline, "What the F are you doing?" Because he would just make terrible decisions on the field.
Right.
Richardson, all the talent in the world, can run as fast as anyone, but he overthrows guys on routine routes every single time.
Yeah,
He
but
has
Chris,
zero touch.
but think about what you're saying, and maybe I'll convince it to you this way. If we're going to suck, and it is possible Will Levis is the guy, and it is bad,
Right.
and we got a lot of mouthing of what the bleep are you doing, and Anthony Richardson doesn't care about football, and then the end result is we're so bad, we're picking number one. And that's not me saying we're tanking. They're very different things. Versus the little bun single of Kirk Cousins, which is, we'll win a few games, we're stable, and where's that leading? Like, I'd rather swing for the fences with the unlikely grand slam home run of turning Anthony Richardson into the star he hasn't been,
Right.
or Malik Willis with the opportunity into the star he hasn't been. I'd rather go for the gusto and the risk being, okay, I guess we suck, we're picking number one, versus the single to left field. The only exception I make is Derek Carr, because I'm just higher on Derek Carr than I am Kirk Cousins, and I think he's young enough where he can quarterback my team for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, Derek Carr, that is, if he wants to, because he's only coming out of retirement if he's going to compete for a championship. He told everybody.
Yes. And I know.
So that assumes that makes you assume that he's not going to the Jets.
I know. You keep saying that. You're being a jerk now.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
Like, I get it. He may not come
if
here.
you're Derek Carr, like I put question marks on that one when you said it because you know he's not coming to the Jets.
But I think we could still put it on the list.
I'm not ruling out the Jets yet with Derek Carr. Because here's the thing. Where's he finding a Super Bowl contender to sign him?
I agree. It's almost
That's
like
the other
it's
part.
almost like he's positioning himself like he's the X factor on somebody's team.
I agree with
And
that.
I don't think many teams are thinking that right now.
And the one thing we also can't ignore is you're making a big deal out of Derek Carr saying that, and I'm making a big deal out of Derek Carr saying, quote, I love Aaron Glenn and I love Jet fans.
Yeah, and I'm wearing a green shirt.
And I'm wearing a green shirt. Ha, ha, ha.
And my brother David is making innuendo.
Right. So I'm reading a little bit into that. Call me crazy.